Okay guys, you seemed quite excited for me to paint up the Space Marines from the new Kill Team starter set in the Raven Guard chapter. So that's what I'm going to do in today's video. I'm going to tackle one of the awesome miniatures and get him painted up like a Raven Guard. The only Raven Guard I've ever painted up is Caven Shrike, and actually the Primaris version that is. And I had an absolute blast painting him. I thought he turned out awesome. So I'm quite excited to get this done and get this guy painted up. So let's dive in and see how it turns out. Before I get into the video, I just want to say a huge thank you as usual to all of my active patrons and channel members. Without you guys, I literally could not continue doing what I am doing. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Patreon is being a little bit of a weird space right now. So all you guys who are signing up, it really does make a huge difference. So thank you. If you're interested in checking that out yourself, it is linked down in the description below. You get access to a private Discord server where you can talk to me about your hobby on a daily basis. And of course, you get access to an extra video every single week. So if those things sound like exciting things, then check it out. Okay, let's dive in and get this Raven Guard painted up. So I think Raven Guard is the correct choice for this particular kill team. I am quite a big fan of Raven Guard, and like I said in the intro, I did paint up a Caven Shrike, the Primaris Marine, for a video. That's over a year ago now, I'm sure. And I really enjoyed the process. Found it an extremely easy Space Marine chapter to paint up. And it gave me ideas for the future of doing like a mostly Phobos themed Primaris army using Raven Guard. So it'll be nice to have this little kill team already done, plus the Shrike model, to give the project a little bit of like, I don't know, gravitas, like it's actually started, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So for this guy, obviously I sprayed him black and then I sprayed him gray seer. And then, yeah, it's just time to start painting. So the first thing I grabbed was a Black Templar contrast. Now, normally when I'm putting on my contrast, it doesn't matter too much what other parts I hit because we're going to be layering and cleaning up later on. So it's like, it can be a little bit messy. That is unfortunately not the case when it comes to painting Raven Guard, especially in my kind of style. So this guy's going to be a veteran. So veteran Raven Guard have white arms and sometimes white helmets. And obviously, since how this is a kill team, I would imagine a kill team is comprised mostly of like veterans and, you know, very good Space Marines, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to follow on with that theme. So as you can see, when I applied the Black Templar, I was very careful not to hit the arms, not to hit the helmet, not to hit the chest emblem, and not to hit the casing of his bolt rifle, because those are the bits that need to be that kind of white color for Raven Guard. And obviously we're going to use the gray seer base coat that we sprayed on as the base coat of those colors. And we're just going to layer it up from there. So like I said, I wanted to be really careful not to make a mess of those parts when I was doing the base coats. Raven Guard color schemes and where it's supposed to be white and what's supposed to be black and where the trim is kind of all over the place right now. I was looking up Reddit threads and stuff, trying to figure out what the official thing is. Even the official, like, this is how Raven Guard are in the codex, is wrong to the Raven Guard army that they show off in the codex. So, and it's a new Raven Guard army they painted for Primaris Marine, so I don't really understand that, but you know, it's fine. Okay, so I've thrown base coats on now and it's time to shade it. We're going to shade the entire model in Nuln Oil. So just once again, as a quick recap, we used Black Templar for all of the armor except for the bits that need to be white. We used Wildwood for the brown leather bits, Lead Belcher for the things, and I did use Skeleton Horde and Volupus Pink for the Purity Seal. I'm not going to show off how I do the Purity Seals in this video because I've shown how to paint Purity Seal a million times before and people have different ideas of them. So you won't see me layering it up and stuff, but it will be layered and stuff by the end of the video. And then, like I said, the Nuln Oil over the top of the Gray Seer base coat acts like a perfect like starting point for that white armor. It's a really nice beginning point. I then, of course, added my Martian Iron Earth, or well, I'll actually use the red of the Firelands from AK Interactive. That's my go-to now for that Martian style. I added some of that really thin coat to his base, leaving those fat slabs like the Gray Seer, and then I threw some orange contrast over the top of that one. It was dry. And that gives me the base coat for my bases as well. Now that that is dry, it's time to start layering this model. So the first thing we're going to do is grab Corvus Black, Corvus being the key word here, to layer up all of the black armor on this model. So Corvus Black is a beautiful black color. If you do not own Corvus Black in your painting collection, it is one of those ones that I thoroughly recommend. There's very few projects out there that I'm painting that I will not use Corvus Black for. I swear to God, I use it in almost every single miniature I paint because it's the easiest color I've found to highlight black with. So if you're doing black, and most models have some black somewhere, a little bit of Corvus Black to highlight it, it's beautiful. Okay, we've gone back to the base coat for Gray Seer. And this is what we're going to use to layer up the Raven Guard armor color. Because if you actually look at a Raven Guard, it's not really true white. If people out there who have painted a true light, I find it too stark. I don't really like the effect. Like, this will like trick your eyes into thinking it's white, even though it's not. And it looks really, really good, really, really clean. And I love it. So hopefully you guys like it too. You'll see it when I've finished layering up this. As you can see, I'm being very careful with the chest emblem, getting each of those individual feathers. I'm going to obviously do his helmet, the casing for his bolt rifle, and his arms. Not his shoulder pads, obviously, just the arms layered up with the grey sear now. I've got a fine pointed brush. I am taking my time. The paint is thinned off a wet palette, and I'm just taking my time and making sure to get these lines kind of as straight and as neat as possible. And once again, the white helmet kind of should only be for captains and stuff, but I really like how it looks. And obviously, if I decide to do a Raven Guard force, they're my models. If I want to do all white helmets, all white arms, then so be it. It's a veteran company. I can do a veteran company if I want to. After that, we are going to go into Lead Belcher to layer up the metallic parts of this miniature. There is no gold on display. That is one of the interesting things about Raven Guard, is they hate the outward display of rank or honor markings or, you know, badges of like medals. You know, none of that stuff is really for them. That at their oath of moment kind of purity seal thing, and that's it. The rest is just not for them. And that's why it's kind of hard to distinguish a Raven Guard like character out of an army, or, you know, a veteran squad from not a veteran squad. They're very much not into that kind of thing, because they are, of course, infiltration, assassination specialists. So, yeah. After that, I think it's very important, because they are kind of a dull scheme with just the black and the white. Making sure to break up that black with transfers, I think, is super important. So I grabbed some Raven Guard transfers. I gave him the elite shoulder pad. If he's going to have elite arms to be veteran, I'm going to give him the Crux Terminalis for that. Raven Guard symbol on the other shoulder pad, and a 7 on for his chapter squad on his knee pad. There's going to be 7 squad of the first company, and that's what I'm going to do for the rest of the kill team. They're all going to have the 7 marking on their knee pad. Veteran status, and obviously the Raven Guard shoulder pad if I can get to those parts. Bring in Lead Belcher again, but this time on a little bit of sponge left over from a case being held by tweezers. Very little silver paint on it, and I'm just kind of stippling over the black armor. Once again, the model's just a little bit too pristine, a little bit too clean. I'm not a fan of super pristine Space Marine armies. I feel like they should always have small arms fire damage and chips, and, you know, they're constantly at war. They don't have time to re-lacquer or repaint their armor after every campaign. And even if they do, after the first engagement of the first campaign, they're going to be chipped and wrecked again already. So pretty much 90% of the time, their armor is in that state of disrepair. Catachan Flesh was then brought in to highlight all of the brown bits. As you can see, the Purity Seal is now layered up as well. I used Grey Seer to highlight that smoke. And then Blood Angel's red contrast was used to paint into the eye lenses. They do tend to have that red crimson eye lens color. And with that eye lens painted in, that's me considering this Raven Guard Space Marine painted up and ready for the tabletop. It was super easy, super effective. Like, I'm going to move forward now and paint the rest of this squad, and I have no qualms. There's not going to be any stages that I'm going to be dreading. I'm going to be super looking forward to it. I definitely think it's what I'm going to tackle on my streams this week, and I'm just going to enjoy it. Obviously, I've taken some dark brooding pictures because these guys usually fight at night. So, dark scheme. I think it's really cool pictures. And I also decided to take some pictures of it next to the other model I did for this Kill Team box set. So remembering that I did do the Chaos Nurgle Sorcerer in there as well, the Plague Caster. He has his whole video, so if you want to check him out, he will link him down below as well. Okay guys, he is now finished up. I decided to go for the one throwing the smoke grenade because he's just such an awesome sculpt and he feels very Raven Guard-esque, kind of espionage and sneaking in and doing his job. And I thought that as a Legion or chapter very much suited the Kill Team aesthetic as well. So yeah. So usually when I do these kinds of video playthroughs and painting guys, I generally don't have a lot of time left to finish off the set, and unfortunately get left behind to be used in future projects and stuff like that. That is not what I want to have happen with this Kill Team starter set. I want to get the Death Guard and the Raven Guard side fully painted up so that I can play a game. So that's one of my goals before Christmas, is to get both of these halves done up in the small amount of spare time that I have. I might be doing them over on my Twitch streams. If you are curious, I do stream on Twitch every single Tuesday and Thursday evening, 8 to 10 p.m. Irish time. So if you want to jump over, get some hobby done and have a chat with a really awesome community, then feel free to check that out as well. Okay guys, thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, ask me any questions you want in the comments, and make sure you're subscribed. Over half of you guys who watch my videos are not subscribed, and that's sacrilegious. So please do hit that subscribe button. And yeah, thanks for sticking around to the end. See you in the next video.